From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Amarachi Ubani.
Welcome tonight. Accreditation for delegates to the national conference begins in Abuja. President Goodluck Jonathan to inaugurate session tomorrow. Nigeria Labour Congress, the NLC, calls for investigation into the death of applicants during the immigration examinations. The Nigeria Economic Summit opens in Abuja on Tuesday. Health education, knowledge and discipline are areas begging for attention. And on the foreign scene, exit polls showed 93% of voters in Crimea support being joined to Russia. It's a 3-month journey towards developing a brand new constitution in Nigeria. And the start of that journey begins tomorrow with the inauguration of the National Conference by President Goodluck Jonathan. 492 delegates comprising the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, professional groups, political representatives, and civil society groups, amongst others, would be deliberating on how to resolve the country's constitutional challenges. The National Conference, convened by the present government, is meant to address all matters except the indivisibility and indissolubility of Nigeria as a nation. The delegates are expected to form a consensus and then advise the federal government on the legal framework procedures, options for integrating the decisions, and outcome of the conference into the national constitution. The conference is being chaired by retired Justice Idris Kutigi. And in the meantime, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Malam Bala Muhammad, is assuring delegates attending the national conference of their safety. He also says appropriate arrangements have been made for their comfort and welfare. Malam Muhammad said this in Abuja today, shortly after observing the accreditation of some delegates at the National Judicial Institute in Abuja.
Everything are ready for the conference. Yesterday we had an immigration interview that set us some steps back in terms of cleanliness and what have you, and that's why we came out en masse with our Abuja Environmental Protection Board to make sure we don't give a bad impression of the city. The city is the center of excellence of the country, and we are bringing one of our best in the country in terms of representation. So the first impression counts. We have to make sure that everything is neat, clean, and serene. And of course, so that we will be ushering in one of the best times of our moment as a government and as a people, where we'll come and talk freely at the conference.
Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Malam Bala Muhammad, one of the delegates of the National Conference and President of the Council of Women Societies, Mrs. Nkechi Okeneni Mba, has been sharing her thoughts on the conference. This was after her accreditation in Abuja today.
Expecting this national conference all this while so that there will be unity and there will be peace in the country, so that different ethnics and different religions and different zones will air their views so that Nigeria will remain one. In the National Assembly, we asked and wrote so that they can implement into law the 35% affirmative action. But it was not done. You know, they keep on throwing our papers aside. We've asked them because you know that they say if you educate a woman, you educate a nation. The whole world, CEDAW bill has been passed, but Nigeria, we have not passed that CEDAW bill. That is elimination on violation against women. We need it. At least with these few laws that we're asking for, like we said, women are saying, thank God for the national conference. Maybe we'll be heard. With these few things, I think we will be happy.
Well, the national conference officially starts tomorrow in the nation's capital, Abuja, but the preparation for the takeoff began last year. Since the president announced the conference, there have been several debates on issues relating to the discourse. In this next report, our correspondent, Shehu Okimbaloye, takes a look at how it all started and the issues that have trailed the national conference.
It is perhaps one thing Nigerians have clamored for the most. The national conference has been on the lips of Nigerians as one way the people can talk through some of the many challenges that has confronted it for 100 years. Perhaps a shock to many was when President Jonathan, on his 2013 Independence Day address, announced that there will be a national conference. For some, it was a major step in the nation's history, but for the opposition party, it's just a guile.
This program offers Nigerians a rare chance to re-evaluate our association and produce a roadmap for our future.
I see a contradiction here. I will discuss with my party. I see a diversion here. I will discuss with my party. I see deception here. I will discuss with my party. I see lack of honesty and integrity here.
The president, in what appears to be a move to clear the doubts of the critics, set up an advisory committee, inaugurated them, and for 3 months they sat and they submitted their reports.
More than 4,000 pages.
In the process of the committee's consultations around the country, some mild drama also ensued.
This conference, and I would like to be proved wrong, it will not be different from any previous conference, and therefore
From the report of the Okuromu-led committee, the federal government came up with the modalities for the national conference.
The national conference shall tentatively last for 3 months and shall discuss any subject matter whatsoever except the indivisibility and indissolubility of Nigeria as a nation. This is to say that the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable.
Several reactions have trailed the FG's emphasis on the no-go area, and the delegates' template may have fallen out of the expectations, where some Nigerians also equally asked for a conference of ethnic nationalities. As the conference kicks off on Monday, Nigerians will be looking and expecting to get a premium from a cause they have hoped for in several years, a forum expected to provide solutions to the many challenges confronting the nation since 1914. Shehu Okimbaloye for Channels Television News.
Let's switch gears now to talk about what happened yesterday across the country. Thousands of people turned out to participate in the aptitude test of the Nigeria Immigration Service. The Nigeria Labour Congress has demanded that the Minister of Interior, Abba Moro, investigate the death of the applicants of Saturday's recruitment exercise or resign from office. Addressing journalists in Kaduna on Sunday, that's today, the NLC Vice President Isa Aremu said about 19 people lost their lives while seeking employment. Said this is unacceptable and runs against best employment practices. Mr. Aremu describes the death of the applicants as a dent on the country's image.
Nigerians do not need another panel on this tragedy. In 2008, under Yar'Adua administration, after similar carnage called recruitment by the Immigration Service, federal government instituted a probe into the circumstance which led to the death of scores of applicants nationwide. The outcome of this probe was never known. Nigerians are therefore legitimately tired of probes. In fact, Nigerians are probe fatigue. Nigerians demand for direct government action on the part of President Goodluck Jonathan to demonstrate that no life of an applicant will be further wasted at any recruitment center. Indeed, the Minister of Interior, Mr. Abba Moro, must get to the bottom of the recent deaths, failing which he must resign from administering a ministry which is increasingly notorious for employment scandals and employment tragedies.
To another incident that happened on Friday, the president of Southern Kaduna People's Union, SOCAPO, Dr. Ephraim Goje, says the death toll from last Friday's attack in 3 villages in Kaura local government area of the state by suspected Fulani herdsmen has risen to about 114. while over 5,000 people have been rendered homeless as a result of the attack. At a press conference today in Kaduna, Dr. Goje attributed the attack to a lack of collaboration among security agencies in the state and also in Plateau State. He therefore appealed to the state government to urgently come to the people's rescue by rehabilitating them in addition to shielding them from the marauding herdsmen.
We are asking government to urgently consider our request for the siting of a military barracks within 25 radius of Kafanchan town so that they can quickly respond to all issues concerning security challenges in that area. Presently, we have over 5,000 internally displaced persons that require rehabilitation and compensation from government, especially that their houses, foodstuffs were completely burned down by these monstrous murderers. This request is very urgent now that the rains are beginning to set in.
In part two after the break, Ekiti All Progressives Congress, the APC, accuses INEC of bringing faulty voter cards and voter card machines for governorship elections in the state. Do join us again.